There's this popular quote that says, if you can't forget it, let it go. So, I want to talk about letting go of past regrets. Welcome back to another episode of Dash of Colors, where we talk about self improvement and personal growth. My name is Mimi, and I am your host and fellow traveler on this journey towards a better self. My voice isn't entirely at its best today because I have a cold and it's been raining all day, just in case you can hear that in the background. So, today we're diving deep into a topic that often weighs heavy on our hearts and minds, and that is letting go of past regrets. Regrets are like anchors that hold us back from moving forward, but they don't have to define us. I mean, all of us have something that we utterly regret and wish that we can change. But wallowing in regret has a way of pulling us backwards and hindering our growth. So let's talk about how we can, deal with all of these burdens and find a path towards healing. First, I think it's very important to understand that regrets are a natural part of life. There's no person on earth that has nothing they regret. We've all had something that we really feel bad over, or something that we want to have a chance at redoing. It could be a wrong investment, it could be failed relationships, and all of that. We all make choices and decisions that we later wish we could change. But dwelling on these regrets can lead to serious anxiety, self blame, and even depression. And living in regret is something that I have been doing for the past 2 years, and I know how much this has hurt my mind, hurt me as a person, and it has really stunted my growth because I feel like I am still holding on to all of these things and all of these mistakes that I made. Okay, so why is it crucial to let go of past regrets? Well, holding on to regrets can, first of all, affect your mental health and emotional well being. You just feel like you're stuck at a particular point in your life because you have all of these things that you wish that you could go back and undo. Also, it keeps you stuck in the past, and then it prevents your personal growth because you can't just get past yourself and can't get past what you're thinking in your head. Another thing is it can impact your relationships and hinder future decision making because of how most of us live in the past. Sometimes, especially when what we regret has to do with relationships, people who live in regret tend not to be open to having better relationships. So, now that we've talked about what are the consequences or what could happen to you if you're someone who lives in regret, I think it's very important that we also talk about some practical strategies that we can use to deal with regret. One, this is something that I am trying to do, and it says to acknowledge and accept it. Start by acknowledging your regrets and accepting that they're part of your history. It's okay to have made mistakes. It's part of being human. Nobody is above mistake. And the fact that you've done something doesn't make you any less of a good person. It's something that you can still change. You can still learn from these mistakes and improve. So it's okay to accept that you're not that person anymore. And then whatever thing that happened in the past has already happened. Now, yesterday I talked about self-compassion, and self-compassion is a very big deal when dealing with regrets. You have to learn to treat yourself with kindness and self-compassion. Remember that you did the best you could do with the information and the resources you had at the time. And this is something that I try to tell myself, because I've always regretted the fact that I lost so much money, and now that I have need for money, I'm struggling trying to raise money to do a lot of things. And then once had this in abundance, but I didn't really use it very well, and as a result, I ended up hurting myself and hurting people who had actually trusted me. So because of all of this, I was very self-critical of myself, and I hated myself and all of that. But the truth is, I only did what I could do with the resources that I had at that time, with the knowledge I had at that time. I mean, I was just 23, and I was just getting into the world of business and everything. So being defrauded by people wasn't something that I had planned to do, but it has taught me a lot of things. Then step 3, I think it's okay to learn and grow. You should take time to reflect on the lessons you've learned from your regret. How have they shaped you as a person? And then you can use these lessons as stepping stones for personal growth. Now, the 4th thing that I would suggest is to practice forgiveness. Most of us, we are so keen at forgiving every other person around us, but not ourselves. And this is why we hold this grudge against ourselves, that we've done something awful, we've made an awful mistake, and then we just hold on to it and hold on to it really tight. It can be very unhealthy. Okay, so we have to practice forgiveness. Forgive yourself for your past mistakes and choices, because holding on to guilt and self-blame serves no purpose at all. It's very important to free up your mind and free up yourself so that you can embrace other opportunities in front of you. Now, the 5th thing that I would want to suggest is change your perspective. Shift your focus from what went wrong to what you can do right now. And this is something that I have talked about in the past in my previous episodes, and I talked about living in the present, because it's very easy to dwell on the past, all the mistakes, all the wrongs, all the things that had gone wrong, and then we ignore that we're still here, we're still living in now. So it's very important to ignore the past and live in the present, because the present and the future offer endless opportunities for positive change. To provide deeper insight into this topic, I'd like to share a very personal topic, personal story, because I lost money. People had committed money into my hands, and then I lost all of it. I lost 1.7 million naira, and then all this was the guilt that I had to carry around every day. I had this regret weighing on my conscience. So all of these things really haunted me for years and months, until I started realizing that it was okay to let go and then find a way forward, So remember, letting go of past regrets isn't about erasing the past. It's about releasing its grip on your present and your future. Before we wrap up today's episode, I'd like to leave you with a powerful quote by Maya Angelou. It says, "Forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know before you learned it." So it's okay to move on from the past mistakes and then look forward to opportunities that surround you. Forgive yourself. You didn't know what you know right now, and that's why it happened. So thank you for listening. Today is day 2 of our 30 days self-improvement challenge on this show. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe on any platform you're listening on and turn on the notification, because by this time tomorrow, I will be uploading a new episode. So thank you for sticking with me. I hope you have a lovely evening or day. My name is Mimi, and I'll see you tomorrow.